change a career leader, fan radio network.
Okay.
And KFAN.com. 2 minutes and 7 seconds past the hour, 3 o'clock on the afternoon aardvark on a beautiful early August afternoon in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Gaardsy produces the show. I am the occasional host. Former Ink Stain Wretch newspaper, the Twin Cities. My name is Dan Barreiro. I before E, except in Barreiro. We're delighted that you are along for today's broadcast. Why do I get the feeling, Gaardsy, that by the end of the Vikings practice session this afternoon, we will have a winner in the quarterback derby? Because this will be, allegedly, we're back in pads, right? And this is going to be a heavier practice, is what I read, than yesterday.
Yeah, I think Alec told us that too.
More like Monday.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah, heavier workload.
Heavier workload, but also more physicality to it. So, by all accounts, on Monday, neither quarterback flourished, shall we say, especially towards the end. That's the day we were out there. We'll be back out there on Friday this week. So maybe this is the day where if either of them, well, let's face it, I was going to say if J.J. McCarthy redeems himself, that's probably still not enough to elevate him to the position because it's all been rigged for Kyler Murray, who should be. Is it fair to say that if Kyler Murray has any ability, he should be better quarterback right now than J.J. McCarthy?
Yes.
And, I mean, you could argue, based on what we saw last year, it's faint praise. But it's a start.
Did you see the quote circulating today in one of the athletic stories?
No.
From an anonymous somebody?
Oh, another one of those anonymous ones. Was it Alec Lewis?
No, I don't know. I just saw it on Twitter before the show. So I don't know if it was a personnel guy or somebody else. But the quote about J.J. McCarthy was, "It looks like football is hard for him."
Wow.
Like, that's not great.
No.
Not ideal.
You don't like hearing that.
No.
You don't like hearing that at all, do you?
I didn't like reading it. Looks like football is hard for him.
That's definitely not. Well, there's some truth to that.
At times, it did look difficult.
The question is, can he get better at it? Or is that something you either have or you don't? That's always what this is about. When a young quarterback looks awful, because many of them do look awful early and end up being good to very good.
Yeah.
So it's, okay, well, is this an area in which you either have it or you don't? Or is this an area in which you can get better as, quote-unquote, things slow down for you, as you process things better and you have a better understanding of the most complicated offense in the history of the National Football League?
It was a Mike Sando athletic piece.
Oh, okay, think
ranking
piece.
Quarterbacks
Sando
around the NFL. Anonymous offensive coach on Vikings QB J.J. McCarthy. Football looks hard for him.
Wow.
I have a lot of questions.
Why can't the coach say that on the record?
Yeah.
Gutless?
Maybe. He might have to coach him someday. He might go to a different team.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd like to revisit, I think it was the Ben Gessling piece from about a year ago about how quarterbacks...
Base body balance?
No. How quarterbacks... It's now product to develop quarterbacks. There's quarterback coaches, quarterback camps,
right.
quarterback gurus. And they spend a lot of time talking about JJ's quarterback journey and who he worked with and then going to IMG.
I do remember that, yeah.
It's like, those guys have to hope the internet forgets, right? Because the whole thing was about how he was born to do this and he was built to do this way with all these people. It's like, what was he learning at all these places? And
born leader.
Yeah.
Easy to rally around.
Yeah.
Except for when he decides to prance into the end zone.
Coach didn't like that. I don't think there are players who like that, current or former.
By the way, did you hear Mark Wilf today?
I saw some quotes about him. Yeah.
So I'm not making this up. I see the tweet from, I think it was from somebody. It may have been Gessling. I don't know who it was that Wilf was going to do his annual training camp presser today.
Yep.
And I said snarkily, as I am wont to do, raspberry vinaigrette or ranch. And I'm not kidding. Within a minute of that tweet, here's what we get from Ben Gessling describing Mark Wilf's annual training camp press conference as beginning this way. The owners, quote, feel a great deal of alignment End quote. Between Nolan Teasley and Kevin O'Connell.
Thank you, everybody, for coming here.
It was on cue. It was almost like within seconds. That's what Gessling offered. It was perfect. It was almost like I'd planned the whole thing.
So I think to answer your question, it was both.
It was
vinaigrette
both.
And ranch. They got two. The salad was so big, the word salad, they needed a couple of different dressings.
Are you on salads, are you a ranch guy at all?
I like ranch, yes.
Ranch is bigger as a dipping sauce these days than as a salad dressing, isn't it?
It's kind of become a big dipping sauce, yeah.
How about, are you big on the vinaigrettes for salads?
It's fine. I mean, when you go to a wedding sometimes, or a charity dinner, you're kind of forced. The vinaigrette, I think, is sometimes forced upon you.
It is, often it is.
So I can deal with it. It's fine.
The vinaigrettes are supposed to be healthier, right? Because they're generally less creamy.
Allegedly,
yes. So
Yeah,
I'm sure some more than others, and don't text me. I get it. And not all vinaigrettes are equally healthy. I understand. There are degrees in the vinaigrettes.
There is.
I'm well aware of that.
There is. I'm good with ranch. I'm more of a Caesar guy historically.
Caesar, okay.
I love a good Caesar. Good Caesar.
That's a kind of a creamier salad, a dressing, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
Which probably means usually not as good. How about peppercorn?
Peppercorn's good. I like peppercorn. Yeah.
Is that a form of Caesar's?
I mean,
it feels like it
feels like a cousin to Caesar.
Yeah.
It feels like a Caesar cousin.
It really does. By the way, one other, we got great reaction yesterday in response to our call to action regarding the fact that the Bumper to Bumper program is on the clock, literally, to find a t-shirt. We're always the last at this. We're probably the least committed to the bit. In any case, we got some good ideas yesterday, but I sense from the programming director and perhaps others that they would really like to do one of those Wolves in 5 things. Or at least there's some interest in that. But obviously the rest of it has to be crafted.
Right.
And it has to be, I don't know. Does it have to be sports related? Does it have to be, is it at its best, would it merge some State Fair stuff with some sports stuff, with some KFAN stuff, whatever it is? But if you're into the Wolves in 5 rhyme,
and a lot of you are,
this is your chance, because I think there's some desire to at least put that into the mix, as well as a couple of other ideas that we discussed on yesterday's program. So, Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line will be rebooted shortly, 64686, or you can tweet at either one of us, whichever indeed works. My question today, out of left field. No particular reason today I'm asking this. I could have asked it a week ago. I could have asked it a year ago. I could have asked it 10 years ago. But I feel like asking it today. Can written advice or words, or even one could say cliches, change a career? Is it enough to actually send someone who otherwise was on a fairly pedestrian, ordinary course to something that seems greater, maybe even transcendent? My inspiration today was something that somebody at The Athletic put together, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And the bit was, we're going to ask, I think the number was 15 athletes for the greatest advice they ever received. And most of these are high-enders. Most of these are Hall of Fame individuals already there, or probably on a course that would put them there. And I want to read from some of these and see if we think that these fall into the classification of, well, they might have been helpful, but you got to be really good. But I guess we understand that from the beginning. In other words, you can get the best advice, a light bulb goes off, and if you stink at shooting a basketball, you're probably still not going to be Steph Curry level as a shooter.
Right.
So there's a middle ground there. But what I'm trying to figure out is whether this advice is mythic, whether it actually can turn somebody in a different direction. For example, they asked Steph Curry, 4-time NBA champion, 2-time NBA MVP, still a member of the Golden State Warriors, correct?
For now, until he gets traded to Charlotte.
Best advice, they ask him, best advice he ever received that he thinks he used. Now, this isn't, again, I don't think very profound, but you could say maybe it is profound, even if it's a cliche we've heard over and over again. He quotes his college coach at Davidson, Bob McKillop. Coach McKillop always preached next play mentality. I needed it in college because I used to turn the ball over all of the time. And he was like, don't let that linger to the next play. You know, he says, intentional amnesia. Then he broadens it out. Next play mentality is a life principle, too, for Steph Curry. You're not always going to get it right. You're not always going to get it perfect. But you do have another opportunity, God willing, to make the necessary changes. So next play mentality, keep your confidence. I think it keeps a level of control amongst the uncontrollable. That's what life is. There's so many things and factors and variables that you don't control, but you do control how you respond to them. That was his way of bringing that idea to life. So is it a yawner to you? You go, you roll your eyes, oh, God, I've heard this a million times. We're happy for you. Or do you say, well, it is a cliche. There's several cliches in there, but there's some truth to and some wisdom in what the coach said and what Curry has now synthesized out of it. What do you think?
I'm aroused by all of it. I believe in all of it. To answer your question, can words further a career, help a career, whatever a career? I believe 100% in all of it, that it can.
Interesting.
I love this stuff. I eat this stuff up. So I eat this stuff up like a Caesar salad.
When Lil Gaardsy was pursuing, when it became clear that you had some tennis acumen to hit the ball around, plus you were known for you had one of the great serves in Minnesota high school tennis history, didn't you?
Depends on which paper you ask.
Yeah, that's true. So along that way, is there a similar piece of advice that you believe actually you did pay attention to? You didn't roll your eyes at it, or maybe you rolled your eyes at it at the beginning, but then the more you thought about it and the more you used it, the more you said, this might actually come in handy.
I had so much. Like, I had an abundance of unbelievable advice. I was #blessed with all of that.
I bet you not all of it was good, though, because sometimes can it get a little too confusing, the various messages?
But I think you have to know, I think you have to have a filter for who's telling it to you and why, and what you think of that coach or what you think of that program or player or whatever it is. But the advice that I always come back to, and I remember where I was when I heard it. I was in the Salt Lake City, Utah Marriott, where I think Rick Majerus lived while he was the coach.
I stayed at that Marriott a few times,
I think that's the Marriott where Jordan had the bad pizza before the game against the Delta.
They poisoned him.
Yes, exactly. And there was a national tennis coach. I was there for a tournament, and he was there to talk to the whole group. And he showed a picture of guys at a academy like 30 years before, and it was all pros at one point or another. And he showed us a picture, and his advice was, winners listen. Winners listen. And he showed all the kids that went on to be pros, they were listening to somebody else speak, and they were all just completely locked in on whoever the speaker was.
They were mesmerized.
And that stuck with me forever, because it's very simple. You can take it however you want.
Yes, that's true.
I think I use that all the time. You listen to what the coach is saying, you listen to a player, you listen to another piece of advice. You don't assume you have all the answers. That one struck me very, very deeply at the time. I was probably 15. And I just liked it. I liked it for its simplicity.
Stuck with you.
And I liked the fact that he showed right there, look at these guys. They're all locked in. No one's screwing around. No one's looking off to the side. The guys that went on and made it are locked in on this. It's important to them. It's 2 words, but I think it can be broadened out to however you want to interpret it. So I totally believe in this stuff. I live for this stuff.
I love the idea of this story. I'm not sure I would have chosen some of the same individuals they did. Some of it may be, who responded. Like Austin Reeves is on this list. Now, you could argue Austin Reeves is worthy because he was undrafted, and he just signed a contract for like $500 million.
Yeah, and he's a pro.
And he is a pro.
Yeah.
That's true. Let's hear what Austin Reeves had to say. Best advice he said he ever received. And you want to guess who he says he got it from?
Probably his high school coach.
LeBron James.
LeBron.
Former teammate.
Okay.
LeBron told me my rookie year. Well, let me do the headline. Austin Reeves. Be true to yourself. LeBron told me that my rookie year. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't really like going out. I stay in the house. And that was the first thing he told me. He was like, don't try to fit in with anybody that you're not. If you want to do something, do it. If not, do what you like to do. He says, I felt like a weight came off my shoulders because I could just be myself every day instead of trying to act like someone else. It's not even necessarily anything to do with basketball or sports. I think it's just life in general. Be yourself. Be a good person. At the end of the day, good things will happen. Now, I can see where if you're a kid, player, coming in wide-eyed, bushy-tailed into the league.
Trying to fit in. And LeBron James takes you aside with that advice. That's massive. That's got to take a huge load off your shoulders, right? Because the assumption is he might be coming over to say the opposite. Hey, rookie. That's how we do things over here.
You know, that's how we do it.
Rookie dinner.
Get in here. And to have LeBron, of all people, say, don't feel forced into stuff. Don't do it. It's always been my biggest issue with the fraternity philosophy, which is you got to do this, this, and that. Now, maybe that's changed over the decades. I don't know. It's been a long time since I went to Indiana University.
You and I are in alignment on this, though.
In any case.
The frats never did it for me either.
That is an interesting one as well. Now, how about Charles Barkley? NBA Hall of Famer, 11-time. Basketball has blossomed. It may speak, though, to something else that could be very eloquent and helpful to a player in any sport, regardless of sport, who kind of feels like he or she plays with players who do not share your work ethic, your enthusiasm, whatever the case may be. So Barkley says, you can't worry about other people because sometimes you play with people who don't have a great work ethic, or you work with people who don't have, well, I just repeated the same sentence, work ethic. You can't get frustrated. You just have to do your part. And there are players who have a problem with that. That is a hurdle that they don't all clear. Understandably, if you're human, you go, okay, why can't we get so-and-so? Like if you're, I don't know, Jaden McDaniels, you're going, why can't Julius, from the start of the game, just guard? I mean, come on. Why? Why not? Charles is saying, stop feeling sorry for yourself. You can only control what you can control, so go ahead and continue to do it. Because if you don't, you do run the risk of being brought down by that other player or those other players who you may have every right to be frustrated by. But I think he's saying if you follow them, you're doomed. And what you have to hope is other people figure it out, players get traded, or you maybe get another chance someplace else, whatever the case may be. That's the Charles Barkley advice. Any other thoughts on that one?
So he got that advice?
That's what he didn't say from who.
Yeah, I'd be curious who that advice came from.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
He doesn't say.
It makes sense. You got to worry about you. You got to stay in your lane. Do the best you can.
Suni Lee.
One of us.
Correct.
Yeah. Making a comeback.
Again, doesn't tell us who the advice is from, but this says this is the best advice she ever received. You're the only person who knows all of the work you put in. So don't listen to outsiders. Enjoy the process. A lot of the time, I found myself not enjoying the process. I stressed myself out so much that I got lost in the moment. So I learned to be present. There's some word salad to that, yes. I think a little bit. Yep. But
present is a good buzzword.
I understand sort of what she is attempting to say. If you have ideas via the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line, 646-86. Also, we're getting already some Wolves and 5 ideas, too, which we might... some of these, I mean, I asked for them.
Yeah.
Example, Barreiro still alive.
Wow.
Gaardsy, former Hornet Hive, Wolves and 5.
How about this one from Minnesota?
Okay.
Elite Snark, Carousel Park, Afternoon Aardvark, Wolves and 5.
That's not bad.
I think it's good.
Save that one.
It's starred.
That's pretty good.
I think it's very good.
That's pretty good.
I think that's a leader in the clubhouse, and we've only had 2.
This one might be a bit too dated or have a short shelf life.
Mm-hmm.
Romo couldn't walk a straight line. Can Kyler, JJ, and Wentz align? I say ride the pine. No, I read it wrong. I say align. Did you see this one?
I don't have the text up, but it was a tweet from Minnesota. I think we need the ranch for some of these for the word salad.
Might need the raspberry vinaigrette because I'm confused about exactly how that would go. Ball don't lie. Ant so fine. Randall didn't jive. Wolves in 5. That might be a little too Wolves centric.
Yeah.
Although Fallness would say, well, yeah, exactly.
Per usual.
Yeah. What's different about that?
Per usual.
All right. I give you Suni Lee. Let me see what else we can get. Seth Curry is represented here.
Okay. Interesting.
Younger brother of Steph.
Yep.
Played for 10 teams across 12 seasons. Very different career, you could say.
That happens.
Walk your own path.
It's a good one.
Don't look to your left or your right. Don't try to compare yourself to other people. I want a little more meat on that bone, but I guess there might be some truth to that. Huh?
Yeah. It's kind of like the Barkley thing. You can't worry about other people. You got to worry about yourself. Suni Lee, you got to worry about yourself. You're the only one that knows. You're in the ring.
Jason Kelsey.
Okay.
Now, he's the retired Kelsey, right?
Yes. He's the offensive lineman.
Best advice he ever learned or ever heard, ever received. Embrace losing. Now, this one I've heard Michael Jordan talk about in the past, too. He might be stealing Jordan's material. Yep. I don't know. Kelsey, for the record, 13 seasons in the league, all with the Eagles, 6-time All-Pro. As much as losing sucks, you don't like losing. You learn a lot in those losses and in those training days. It's a feedback loop of how to improve. I think sometimes people get so down on themselves because in the moment they had a poor performance. In reality, yeah, it was a bad game. You didn't do what you were supposed to do, and that sucks, but it's also an opportunity to now do better the next time. Now, you could say that's the beauty of, sports in that there's a game the next week.
Usually.
Until there isn't, right?
Yep.
And in baseball, there's a game the next night. Or it might be another game the same night, right?
Right.
So how many of these that we've quoted from are usable beyond bats and balls, sticks and gloves, etc.?
I think most of them, if not all of them, because even if you're not competing as an athlete, in most walks of life, you're competing somewhere.
True.
You're competing for the next promotion.
Yes.
You're competing for the next sale.
Yes.
You're competing for the most listeners. Usually, I would think you're competing for something, and and a lot of these have to do with how you overcome adversity, the losing thing. So that's why I think sports are the greatest teacher for life. I really do.
It can be.
Now I have a very skewed perspective. It's literally all I've known for my entire life is watching sports, playing sports, being around sports, even to this day at 44. So
yeah,
I'm sure there's other ways to learn good life lessons, but I think all of these are applicable to life. I think that's why coaches write books. I think that's why there's leadership retreats, because all of those things are I think they're all applicable.
I got Larry Fitzgerald Jr. on this list from this story via The Athletic. I think I could give you 1,000 guesses, and you still wouldn't get it.
On who gave him the best advice?
Well, not the who, but what was the best advice?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't know.
What was the best? Because this one, I didn't see this one coming. Let's put it this way. And maybe to that extent, it's good because it's something different. Best advice Larry Fitzgerald Jr. said he ever received. I wonder if he got it from his dad.
Going into the Hall of Fame this weekend.
Sleep is underrated.
It's good advice.
It's interesting because that was not as deep as some of the others, philosophically speaking, but sleep is underrated.
It is.
On so many levels, in so many parts of our lives, is it not?
I think it's becoming properly rated in the last 10 to 15 years. People are understanding the importance of it.
But part of the problem is the more emphasis you put on it, I think the more people who can't sleep well tense up.
Yes.
They're going, oh, my God, I just read another study. I got to sleep.
Yep.
Here's what I'm missing out on. And you end up defeating the purpose of the advice, or you feel like, well, I'm a failure. I can't get to sleep, so I must be a failure because all these other people have found all these tools and these ways to get a proper night's sleep.
And they talk about the importance of it and what happens to you health-wise, mentally, and physically if you don't get it. One of my favorite Craig Kilborn lines, not on the show, just when he came in for a Wolves game, I asked him how he was doing. I said, how's it been? And he said, well, I didn't get my 8 hours, as Craigers would say. Right?
There it is.
Man, he was tired.
So he's saying the same thing.
He goes, I didn't get my 8 hours.
Maybe Fitzy got it from Craigers.
He may have.
Who's to say?
He may have.
We got some money to give away?
We do. TheFanandBigDeck.com. I'm going to give you a shot to win bonus bucks. It is our national cash contest. You can enter the keyword bonus at KFAN.com to enter. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword bonus.
Happy birthday, Aunt. Barreiro is soon to be on another rant. McCarthy is a QB. I just can't. Wolves and 5.
Bumper to bumper with Dan Barreiro on The Fan.
From the 1-800-ASK-GARY Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Dean's Home Services.
Good text coming in on good advice the average Rube listening to the show received over the course of their lives. Ash Wednesday, Kessler Wednesday, Wiener Wednesday, Wolves and 5. That's from Joe.
We didn't wish each other
in Tucson
a happy Wiener Wednesday today.
Oh, it is? That's true.
We do need to start doing that.
Well, I'm sure Kessler will get to it.
Yeah,
right?
It's all about the wiener.
Unwritten rules are bad. Ball guys are mad. Nerds are just sad. Wolves in 5. That's not bad. Wolves in 5 strands are great, but I think too much for a T-shirt. I think you should just go simple and genius. The shirt should read Polydana. I mean, what we could do is Polydana or Dantifa. A little of both, like my split personality kind of a thing.
Yep.
But the Dan Minnesota one, I think, might have some legs.
I think it's good. I think it's good.
Advice that the average Rube listening to this program has received, and that perhaps has stuck with these individuals. My whole life I've used, paraphrasing, the satchel page, don't look behind you, somebody may be gaining on you. As someone who has coached hockey over 20 years, forget about what happened. You can't change it. You can change anything and everything ahead of you. So short memory is kind of what Steph Curry was talking about too, correct?
Next play, yes.
How about this one? 612 guy. I had a baseball coach once tell me this, and it's stuck with me for the past 10 years. If you're too big to do the small jobs, you're too small to do the big jobs.
Love it. I love it.
For my days as a semi-driver, which translates to virtually every other part of life, always be smarter than the equipment. Or your children, or your tools, etc. That's Bemidji guy. Always be smarter than the equipment. I think that sounds good.
It does.
Not sure what it means, but I think I kind of like it.
It's tough for us. I mean, we had the mic problem for like a month, among other things.
We did.
Hip cricket.
Now I think fixed, I should say.
Hip cricket seems to be one step ahead of you most days.
An ink-stained wretch, politically correct is a stretch, Dan is a kvetch. Wolves in 5. Michael Jordan's most famous quote about missing shots. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games, 26 times. I've been entrusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that, boys and girls, is why I succeed.
That poster
on your bed, in your bedroom?
No, but I swear, like when I was growing up and playing high school sports or even coaching high school sports, I want to say that poster was in like 60% of locker rooms.
Yeah, that's
like
is that the exact? Is that the actual quote?
Something
he
along
quotes
those lines
it directly.
Yeah.
The
something
texture.
Along those lines.
Yeah.
It is interesting how the greats do understand, because you think of them as these competitors that just abhor losing and hate losing and refuse to lose, but they lose all the time because that's just, unless you're Even the great, like Roger Federer just gave a commencement speech at Dartmouth a few years ago. He won 20-some majors. He was considered for the moment, I mean, he's one of the top 2 or 3 players ever that have ever played tennis.
Yes.
He mentioned that he won 54% of the points that he played.
Yeah. That's same concept. Really.
That you have to just move on.
Yeah.
And you obviously, that implied there is that he won the right points and he understood, when the points that he needed to win, he won them, I'm guessing, at a much higher percentage than anybody else. But he understood that failure was part of the job. I do think the greats understand that you're going to fail and you have to figure out a way around it.
There are no little things. Right, 612 guy.
Love that too. Details.
Good in its own way, yeah.
Details matter.
It takes skill to back into your spot. A fair quarterback competition, I think not. 12 days by the grandstand will be hot. Wolves in 5. That's a lot of good work people are putting in.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that.
It's good help.
Very
Good
clever.
help.
Very, very clever.
And sometimes, like, one of these might give the hockey assist where we don't use it exactly, but it gives us an idea to tweak it a little bit.
The lid's off the jar. Kessie's brawling in a bar. Lavelle's calling from his car. Wolves in 5.
Lavelle's got a big following in the Bradshaw and Bryant
no
KFAN
question.
text line. He leaves an impact.
Listing online for Barreiro to whine about an awful offensive line and quarterback with no spine. Wolves in 5. Man. Vikings quarterbacks choke. Wild playoff records a joke. Twins are broke. Wolves in 5. Some snark there, right?
Yeah, that's savagery, I think, even more than snark.
Pretty good savagery for sure. Corn sweat in the air, exploding trees beware, escape from it all at the Minnesota State Fair. Wolves in 5. Not bad. Yeah, there are a lot of good ones.
Can we fit it on a T-shirt?
Well, that's my whole concern about the whole Wolves in 5 bit anyway. Although the one from Minnesota is pretty brief, right?
It is.
Is it brief enough? I don't know.
Elite Snark, Carousel Park, Afternoon Aardvark, Wolves in 5. I mean, how many words is that? 2, 4, 6, 9. That's very brief. That's the opposite of, like, a question. That's what the Snark would say. Like, that is extremely brief.
How about this one? Because you're included. Barreiro is the on-air bard. His muse is Justin Guard. Radio with them goes hard. Wolves in 5.
Ooh, goes hard. That's what the kids would say too.
Is that what the kids say now?
Among other things, yeah.
Well, yeah. That's the one we could. That's okay to use.
That'd look good on the TikTok. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Seems we always play the team we fear, so we keep looking to next year. Wolves in 5. Not sure. Kyrie world is flat. Babe didn't ever bat. Now Sauce isn't fat. Wolves in 5. We got a lot of them. And we got, let me give you one more advice item. I mentioned Fitzy Jr. Tell me what you make of this one. This is from Faith Torres, the 2026 NCAA All-Around Champion, 5-time NCAA champion for the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners.
Okay.
Best advice that she said she ever received was, take the time on the hard days if you need it. She says, I think that's such good advice. You need to be mentally there and mentally prepared, especially with gymnastics. So even journaling, I think, is a great thing to do. Taking care of yourself. I journal a lot, and I love it. I think people don't do it enough. It's a little intimidating. You're like, my feelings, oh my gosh. But honestly, it's amazing. So I guess she defines taking the time as articulating whatever your fears, frustrations, whatever are on that day.
I guess, yeah, taking time.
Are you a big journal guy, a big diary guy?
No.
Despite being, writing all these years, I never was. I never got into that whole concept.
No, I take a lot of notes.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
yeah.
Either about something I thought of or something I've been thinking of or something I saw, something I wanted to remember. I take a lot of notes that way, but not journaling. Later in that story, I don't know if you saw it, Anthony Fauci says the same thing about journaling, but did say you shouldn't do it on a government server. That's not ideal.
If I had the Spanish laugh, I'd play it right now. Yeah, that's very good.
I could give it to myself.
That you should. No, that was
journaling is effective, just not on a government server.
Now, I don't know why you open that door. door number 3, and now I'm going to get 100 million texts.
Kessler was coming up anyway at 5:30. So
that's true. Baker Mayfield's on here.
My guy.
Best advice Baker Mayfield said he ever received. You're never alone.
Ooh, that's good.
I think asking for help is something that people feel ashamed of doing. You have more people that care about you than you think. I've gone through some things myself. I've had teammates go through certain things. But you always have people in your corner. That's a good one.
That's good. That's profound.
And again, I think we're in a lot better place in terms of, not always having to be the tough guy, so to speak, in terms of athletes, mental health issues, etc. But good reminder. Interesting that's what he'd come up with.
I'd imagine QB1 feels lonely sometimes.
Got to.
When you got to be, because you're...
Well, QB2 probably feels even lonelier right now for J.J. McCarthy.
Is that where he is? I mean, I don't
think he's
know.
3?
Who knows?
Oh.
But because when you're the QB, when you're the leader, you're kind of thought of as the person that's for everybody else too. You know what I mean? Like when you're the alpha on the team, people are often looking to you to provide guidance and help. Where do you find your own help?
Have you been monitoring, or will you monitor for the top 5 and 5 purposes, all the Jackals and comparing, so we can compare and contrast how they represent, how they, I guess, characterize the big 2 quarterbacks we all assume are in this quarterback race?
Yes, I will be monitoring.
Okay, good.
I usually will pull up a couple of different tabs here on the computer so we can. I just pulled up Alec Lewis. He has nothing from practice so far. It's a lot of Mark Wolf today that is populating the timeline. And Jordan Addison jammed his thumb, so he's going to be down for a little bit, it sounds like. Yeah, nothing really from practice so far today, but I will be monitoring for the top 5. Yes, sir.
Fair enough. Let's get caught up. You brought to my attention a piece of sound that I had seen and chuckled over. Probably the same reason why you sent it to me. We'll discuss that, and we'll play it as well, for those who have not heard it thus far, because it's rather, I think it's, for me, I found it rather amusing, but others may have different reactions to it. 64686, Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line has been on fire today. We appreciate the contributions, and we, as I said, will be back after a short pause.